Positiva!
Good morning and welcome to Berkeley Springs. Today is MoTo Monday. Hey Morgan County, Mrs. Hott and
Sheima,
we want to welcome you to school this week on your daily community vlogcast. Miss Sheima and I have some great stories that say we care about
you.
On MoTo Monday, you'll find an inspirational video to help you motor up your week at school.
Have a wonderful week. Positive thoughts.
The positive action word for this week is empathy, and in Spanish, empatía. Empathy is seeing with the eyes of another, listening with the ears of another, and feeling with the heart of another.
Today's activity, sidewalk chalk stained glass.
What we need for this project is sidewalk chalk and some kind of tape that will stick to concrete. Okay, the first step is to make a square with your tape. Now we're going to fill in the square with lots of different lines. You can put the tape wherever you want to create lots of different shapes. Make sure you rub the tape into the concrete so it sticks. The next step is to take our chalk and color each of these spaces a different color. Okay, see, you can make this as simple, as complicated, as big or as small as you want to. Now let's take the tape off and see if it worked. Oh wow, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay, so this is my finished product, but now I want to see yours. Okay, now it's your turn. Send your creations to summer@morganpartnership.org. Have fun!
been a while, and you may have noticed a lot's changed. That's right, I have a beard now. But the world looks different too. Despite 2 whole seasons talking about the science of happiness and the science of love, there seems to be less of that going around. So we thought we'd dust off the old lab coat because the world could always use more science. Welcome to the science of empathy. Before we really dive in, we thought it important to define just what empathy is. Empathy is the ability to feel what others are feeling. Now, that may sound suspiciously similar to sympathy, but there is a major difference. Sympathy is feeling for someone else. Empathy is feeling with someone else. Now, I know the difference seems trivial, but practicing empathy can have a very different outcome than sympathy and make you more successful in interpersonal relationships. But we're not just going to tell you, we're going to show you with a little game. We invited in pairs of people with all sorts of relationships, from total strangers to couples that have been married for decades.
My seat's better.
We'll see about that.
You guys a little competitive?
A little bit.
You could say that.
So how do you guys know each other?
My little cousin.
I am his little cousin.
What's the nature of your relationship?
We're married.
Or married.
Oh, you're married.
Wife and wife.
Congratulations.
2 W's.
Twice the winning. We asked each pair to play something called the ultimatum game. And the rules are really simple. These $20 are yours, but you have to offer some of them to your partner. Now, if they don't like your offer and say no, then you both get nothing. If they like your offer, then you both walk away with something.
Okay.
You guys ready to play?
Okay.
A good deal is one where everybody wins. So in order to make one, our volunteers will need to flex those empathy muscles to assess exactly what the feelings and desires of the person on the other side are. We're going to see if people who use empathy and consider the other person have more success in the ultimatum game. You're not allowed to communicate what you're thinking, talk about the decision you're making until you make it.
If he refuses it,
Then you get nothing.
then I get nothing.
Then nobody gets anything.
Okay.
This does not happen very often, so I'm enjoying this.
Here's $20.
Okay. Thank you.
1, 2, 3. Oh, I see that.
I think 5. I think 5 is more than fair.
$5. Is this what you're offering, Wood?
That's what I'm offering him.
$8?
$8.
And the 12 is yours to keep?
Okay.
So you got $10 here. Is that
Got
your offer?
$10, yeah.
Okay. Katie.
I knew you were gonna do $10. I was like, there's no way.
This is a Libra
Keeping
thing.
19.
Yeah.
18, 19, 20. There was very little hesitation in that. Patty offers the full $20 to Ray. $14.
Because I love you, and I want you to have the best share.
Okay.
14 to 6 is the split. All right, do you accept Sean's offer of $10?
I do accept Sean's offer.
Congratulations, you've won the ultimatum game.
Wow!
We did it!
I'll accept that.
You're gonna accept the $8.
Yeah. I can buy some food with that. That's a good meal.
I'm gonna accept your offer.
My measly little $6, but that's okay.
Brett, do you accept the offer of $5?
No.
I'm sorry, you do not win the ultimatum game, and you both walk away empty-handed.
Thanks.
That's
You're
the whole
welcome.
game.
That's it?
Yep, that's the.
Well, we
but
just lost.
I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Whose fault was that?
I mean, you should have been more gracious with the offer.
Of the 10 pairs that came in, 9 beat the ultimatum game and walked away with something, while 1 couldn't agree on how much to share and in the end got nothing. When we asked the givers why they chose the amount they offered, the successful ones said they chose the amount because they thought about how the other person would feel.
After nearly 50 years of marriage, I had a pretty good feeling that if I gave her 8, she wasn't going to be too happy.
while the unsuccessful ones said they thought what they would do if they were in the other person's position.
Why did you offer 5?
I was considering what Brett would have done in my position. He would have thought the exact same way I did and would have offered me $1. If I came up here and said, Brett, I'll give you $5, he'd say, sure, great. But if I said, but I get 15 and you only get 5, then it changes everything for him. See, he could have had 5 and he'd rather have nothing.
See, empathy runs a lot deeper than sympathy. It's feeling what another person feels rather than just putting yourself in their shoes.
All right, Wig, you got your 8. Patrick, 12. Do you guys feel happy with this outcome?
I'm happy with it because it could have been worse.
I'm very happy with it.
Sure.
You did, yeah, you did come out ahead.
No, but honestly, like, if there's kind of that line, if he'd had 7, I don't think I'd feel so good about it.
Why is that?
Same here.
Just
like,
kind of like that. It's just, you know, there's just kind of a line.
Yeah.
I
You think
feel
he'd
like-
be unsatisfied?
Yeah, I wouldn't feel good about it.
Tom, even though you're walking away with less, how do you feel?
I think I walked away with more. More because she's happy, and her happiness means more to me than a few dollars.
You handed over the full $20. Are you happy with your decision?
I'm very happy with that decision. It's pretty easy.
Why?
That's my baby. I'll give her anything. I'll give...
You're gonna make me cry now.
If the situation was reversed, how much do you think you'd offer?
Same.
$20
What's
right
mine is yours, what's yours is mine.
It's not always easy to connect with people around us, like a stubborn coworker or a relative with a different worldview. If you're having trouble seeing things from another person's point of view, ask yourself, are you just putting yourself in their position? Or are you truly looking beyond yourself and putting in some real emotional energy into understanding their experience as a human being? More on that next time on The Science of Empathy.
Soul Pancake.